is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, yeah. I gotta find... Nope, that's not it. There we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, we are back here with you on the value of wrestling. I am glad that we are here. I'm trying to make sure everything's up and running and sounding ready. I think we are up and we are here. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining us. This is the Value of Wrestling. This is going to be your AEW Full Gear review. And let's get into the introductions. Yep, we are good. We are sounding good. We will see how this looks. Starting up with the one, the only. Believe that. And of course, our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the one, the only. Oh, believe that. Let's get into the introductions. I'm just going to wait here and make sure we're hearing everything pretty. So everybody's here. Music's up. Okay, good. Sounds like great. Ladies and gentlemen, you know me. I'm the one, I'm the only, I'm the big time. And we're here with your Full Gear 2023 review for November 18th. Welcome to November 18th. We've all been waiting for this Full Gear, and it did what it did. I don't know if the long-term hype was worth more than the payoff tonight, but I got a Pepsi, so that means CM Punk confirmed the value of wrestling. Huh? No? Yeah. Gentlemen, your thoughts on tonight's Full Gear. We'll start with Mr. Clarke. Your overall thoughts, just a synopsis on Full Gear, Mr. Clarke.
It's a pay-per-view. You expected great wrestling matches. Some were better than others, as any pay-per-view, and not get the payoff we were looking for.
That is true. Mr. Z, your opening thoughts on Full Gear.
Well, first you told me to take this down, so let's start there.
Well, because he's a loser.
But other than,
he took an L. He took a 1, 2, 3.
Other than that, I mean,
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
I wanted a good pay-per-view. I mean, it was all right. The destruction of Space Mountain, I didn't see coming, and we'll just leave it at that.
And on that note, we're going to get right into this pay-per-view. Luckily, it wasn't the 12-hour tobacco we thought it might have been. At one point, they were even jumping on commentary that they had all night, and we were going to go till midnight. I don't know. I got scared for a minute. But we started off at 3:30 in the afternoon here on the East Coast, which would have been 6:30 or 3:30 West Coast, 6:30 East Coast. We had 30 minutes of jabbering, and juja for no reason. I don't know why we had an extra 30. I guess we had 30 minutes of 0 hour, the 30 minutes before 0 hour, the time. I don't know what you call that. I guess when that got over, and then we went to the actual 0 hour, they had a black screen for like good 5 minutes. So I don't know if like the first 30 minutes was its own show, and then they went into 0 hour. 0 hour, really where the show started. And Tony Khan just loves to say, I don't care about Ring of Honor. And why do I say that? Because he puts his Ring of Honor World title match as the first match on 0 hour. Eddie Kingston versus Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal out there with the Carnival Circus. You had Sanjay Dutt. You had Old Man Jarrett. You had the Bigfoot Satyam Singh out there. And you had the Abominable Snowman, the Yeti, the Missing Link. I don't know what the other names you can label. One, Karen Jarrett. So they're all out there, and of course, Gorillas in the Mist, apparently. Anyways, Stokely was also out there on commentary. I don't know what was wrong with the commentary team. They were not that good during this time. Stokely just needs to be a manager and not talk as much as he does. Stokely pretty much, the head of Ring of Honor, pretty much doesn't want Eddie Kingston to be the champion, so we kind of know where that storyline lines out. This was a good match that you expect between Eddie Kingston and Jay Lethal. Lots of back and forth. A lot of interference. Eventually, both men are trying to crawl for Jeff Jarrett's guitar because the Bigfoot Missing Link on the other side have the referee distracted. So Eddie and Jay Lethal are both crawling towards Jeff Jarrett's guitar that's sitting on the apron, and but out of nowhere, Ortiz grabs the guitar, looks at both men, and then smashes Sean J. Dutt over the head, and then Kingston eventually gets up, and he gets the back fist to the future for a 3 count. Eddie Kingston at 10 minutes 53 seconds on 0 hour retains the title. Him and Ortiz celebrate in the ring. Everything seems peachy there for moments in time. It seemed like maybe Ortiz was going to turn on Eddie, but no, we got a good moment here. And then Eddie took the mic and thanked everybody for bringing it the pre-show, and called Stokely a bald-headed B-word. So yeah, that was about the opening match. Eddie Kingston doing Eddie Kingston stuff, but it was a good match. I'll give it that. All the other shenanigans, it should have been on the main card. This did not need to be a 0 hour match. This could have been a pay-per-view for a Ring of Honor title match. Of course, I did hear that the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view match is going to be main evented by Athena defending her Ring of Honor world title against the one and only newcomer to Ring of Honor, Ronda Rousey. That is something that has been put out through the Tony Khan network. That's supposed to be the main event of the next Ring of Honor show, so this is why this match was here. Supposedly, good match. Tony Khan, you booked it in the wrong place, wrong time. Mr. Z, your thoughts? Since you're our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, Eddie Kingston's a big part of New Japan, and he's the openweight champion.
Yep.
And so your thoughts on tonight's match?
Openweight champion.
Yeah. Oh, and he's putting those titles both on the line in this new Classic Continental Tournament. So,
you mean that's the G1 ripoff? I get you.
He's putting both his titles on the line in this tournament. I don't know why, because I thought this was a tournament that Bryan Danielson was going to win, and I don't know if Bryan Danielson needs to be the Ring of Honor World Champion again. I guess maybe if this is his retirement tour, I guess you can do that, but I don't know.
It was, other than the fact that it was the match, the outcome was what I thought it was going to be. I could have done without the distractions and the circus animals on the outside.
You know you love gorillas in the mess. You know you like those gray back monkeys.
That was my first question. I hit you guys up. I said, hey, who's the gorilla outside? That was about it.
Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this opening match for 0 hour, since you're a big fan of Ring of Honor? Or at least what used to be Ring of Honor.
Eddie Kingston and Jay Lethal for the ROH World Title should have been at least on the main card, like you said before. Could have done without the Jarrett crew, because they both have the ability to make that a quality match.
Yeah,
it was an okay match, but because of the shenanigans, they just brought it down.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
having Ortiz come out and have Kingston's back, kind of cool, but not really a major moment.
No, well,
we'll
at
see
least
where that goes as time progresses.
At least made sense. Anyways, from there we got Claudio Castagnoli versus Buddy Matthews in a really good solid match. Another match that could have probably been better on the main card than the 0 hour, but this was even a match that you could have saved for Dynamite or Collision next week. I mean, I don't necessarily know why you put this match on the 0 hour other than the fill time. It was kind of dumb, but the match was good. Claudio Castagnoli, Buddy Matthews, great back and forth. Claudio Castagnoli at 10 minutes 28 seconds wins. After he makes Buddy tap out to, I guess they don't call it the sharpshooter anymore. It's called the Scorpion Deathlock, because if you're working under Sting, it's a Scorpion Deathlock. If you're working under a company with Bret Hart, it's a sharpshooter. I don't know. Anyways, Claudio Castagnoli gets a win by submission. Claudio went to shake Buddy Matthews' hand, but Buddy Matthews just kind of shoulder blocked him and walked off. So all we're saying is we're probably going to finally see maybe the BCC and the House of Black tie it up a little more, but overall, good solid match. It was what it was. Don't even know why it really needed to be here. Could have been somewhere else.
Just to have... Oh.
Okay, now
sorry, I was just looking at it like, why do they have it? Why do they have this match? Just to have a good, solid match, even though, granted, they could have had more storyline to it, but it was, I thought, a really good match.
It was a really good match. It's just
it's for your work rate crowd, if you will.
Yeah, it's lost in the place that it was on the 0 hour. It just kind of makes me when you look at 0 Hour, you're like, oh, the matches on that are just kind of low ends, and they put a good solid work match here, and you got it, but it was still just kind of, it was harder to get involved into it. It would have been better if it could have got a Dynamite spotlight to it as a main event or a Collision or even a Rampage main event. It would have felt a little more important than just the middle of a 0 Hour. Mr. Z, your thoughts?
That should have been on the main card. It was really good. I enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it.
Better than some other matches on the main card.
Damn right. Move on.
All right. Then the shit show that we called a tag team match that just, it was a good match. You got the Guns, Austin and Colton versus MJF with his champion, or his partner for the night, Samoa Joe. They were defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles in this match. A good solid match. In the end, Joe is able to tap out one of the Guns. He got the submission on. And then afterwards, of course, during this match, Cole comes down. The Guns are up, and then Cole's music plays, and it distracts him, which leads to Joe getting the Coquina Clutch and a win. And then MJF and Cole embrace on the outside, and then MJF shakes hands with Joe, knowing he owns a title shot to Joe later. Cole pumps MJF up with some positive speaking, but then the Guns attacked MJF from behind, beat down MJF, and then they did a Bumanizer. They took MJF's leg, put it in the chair, and jumped off the top rope and landed on it. MJF has a broken leg now. MJF is being taken to the hospital, and so we get this whole fiasco that MJF's injured. He's getting in the ambulance. He's barely on the freaking stretcher. It was horrible. Like, they didn't put him on a bodyboard. It was so fake, and you're just like, at least when WWE does it, they make you believe. You know, they put him on the bodyboard. They put the neck brace on. They cart him out. This was just done horribly. They carted MJF out to the ambulance. He's screaming for Adam, and he's like, Adam, don't let them take my belt from me. Promise me. And Adam Cole promises him. Adam Cole has a really weird look on his face, so you're wondering what is going to happen tonight with MJF supposedly looking like he's out of action. And that's how we end 0 Hour. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the Guns, MJF, Samoa Joe, and all the tobacco crap that came after it. That we won't jump too far ahead, but it kind of felt not even. I don't even know why they did it now, but you know we understand more when we talk about it. If you weren't paying attention, Mr. Z, what are your thoughts here?
I was a solid match up till the point where the attacks happened. I was kind of impressed of MJF trying to do a muscle buster. It was a failed attempt, but I was impressed that he tried to do it.
Samoa Joe and MJF both tried to pull off muscle buster suck at the same time, but there was miscommunication. So yeah, good moment, but it didn't really work out in their favor. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
You knew the fact that Samoa Joe was going to wound up being MJF's tag partner. They were keeping the belts. They could have written it otherwise, I know, but I just didn't believe that they were.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, wherever we're going eventually with the ROH tag titles, with MJF and Adam Cole, we're going to keep that story going, apparently.
I guess.
Had Joe not been the tag partner, I would have thought the titles would have gone to the Guns. That's not the case, and so we move forward.
No, we have a messy story, and we'll get more on that later, because with all that happening, the night kind of got weirder as we went along, and by the end of the night, I don't think any of what they did here paid off for the end of the night. Like, it made no damn sense by the end of the night. It was unnecessary, it really was. Anyways, so here we are, we're at Full Gear. Excalibur, Toni, and Nigel are discussing what happened to MJF from 0 Hour. If you weren't watching 0 Hour, now you're watching Full Gear. They're letting you know what happened. And we get a kids choir singing Christian's song, or going la la la, whatever it is. And then Christian comes.
Song, yes.
Yes, it was the lyrics. I don't know. It was la 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 la.
It was in the instrumental tone of what that music does.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't get why they did it. It was like, okay. And then, anyways, I guess they were all fatherless kids, and Christian adopted a bunch of kids for the night. I don't know. Anywho, Christian comes out with Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne, and then we get we get to see Kim Jong, or what's his name from the Hangover. I forget what his name was. Mr. Chow, I think it was, from the Hangover.
Mr. Chow. Yep.
So, Kim Jong is at ringside, and then we get the, and of course, Mr. Clarke's favorite thing. We had the patriarchy. The patriarchy of Christian Cage and their group. Yes, I know how much you love that. So, we had the patriarchy in the ring. We got to see Kim Jong, and then we got the music hit, and Ric Flair got his own entrance for a match that he's not even in. He's not even in the match. He's just, but he got his whole entrance, walked down the whole apron. Why, I don't know. Anyways, then from there, we got the touching of, not swords, but bats. They touched their bats for a moment, and then Adam Copeland's music hits, and they're all dressed in long jackets and face paint, and so we have Adam Copeland, Sting, and Darby Allin coming down. This was interesting. Opened the show. I would have thought you would have done Kenny and Jericho versus the Bucks to open the show, but yeah, this is fine. This was a match that you expected between all these guys. It fell into a mess at a point. Flair got into it with Christian, but then Christian, not just low-blowed Flair, but grabbed Sprace Mountain and twisted it upside down. I mean, it was like he really went up in there, not just for a low blow. Flair was down momentarily, but whatever. He sipped his Viagra or chewed his Blue Chew and was back in the ring about 5 minutes later as he was celebrating after...
Damn.
Do what?
He's just reacting to you. All he said was damn.
Anyways, I thought you said something that made him laugh. That's why I told him. Anyways, we got a spear on Luchasaurus and the coffin drop. We get the 1, 2, 3. And then we get a 20-minute after celebration where Sting celebrates his last match in L.A. Then Darby Allin gets on the mic and yells at everybody, "This is Sting's last fucking time in L.A. Let's hear it." So I don't know if they weren't happy that the fans weren't there, weren't overexcited. Of course, Sting walked around the ring for 20 fucking minutes going, hey. And I get it. He's on a retirement tour, but you kind of do those at the end of shows, after shows, when he's in the main event, not when he's in the opening match of a wrestling show. But anyways, we got in the first hour, we got one match almost. But yeah, so Darby Allin, Adam Copeland, the Rated R Superstar, or however, Justin Roberts, I think he said it twice, the Rated R Superstar tonight. And, of course, Sting win. And that's what we had from there. Gentlemen, I guess rumors are that they're talking about bringing back Surfer Sting to end his career, but that's another time and another place. Mr. Clarke.
Tony Schiavone made reference that he'd like to see it. There's no confirmation on it. It's just
there's
something that he'd like to see.
There's a movement now that it's been put out there in the universe. That's the scary thing. Lord. Anyways, Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match?
It's exactly what you expected out of it.
We forgot Christian jumped out of the ring and ran away from Copeland. So after they ruined this, they still have Christian running away from Copeland. But yeah, no, Copeland left the patriarchy behind. The head of the patriarchy ran out of the building.
Like little blue boy.
They should have had him run
it. I guess for a second.
They should have had him run him into Moxley since he ran back there where Moxley came out of. That would have been hilarious. Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. A little bit of a showcase for everyone, but it's exactly what we expected for this match to be.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why. I understand storyline wise why Flair was here tonight. They said he would be, but beyond that, what?
Woo! And he got physical. He got a couple punches and chops there,
which I still could have done without.
Yep, I know. Mr. Z, your thoughts on this match? The match that opened the whole freaking show. The match that set the tone for what was to come.
Well, other than the fact that you said that Ric Flair had to take a Viagra and chew a Blue Chew to get back in the ring, I mean, that was hilarious as shit. That's just me. It was a match, but if they're going to have Sting have his last match, give him something better, not this shit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So from there, we had probably the biggest... Go ahead.
My disappointment is not even in Sting. My disappointment is in Flair. And it's just I'm just not, I guess, as into Copeland at this point. He just doesn't do much for me anymore.
Did you hear the crowd not really pop for any of them? like Ric Flair might have got a little more pop than the rest of them just because it's Ric Flair and he was out there and everybody's like, woo, woo. But I mean, Darby might got a little pop, but I didn't really get a pop for Sting and nothing for Adam, really. And even after it was done, they were clapping and, saying, yay, thank you, Sting, but it wasn't what you would expect it to be. So.
Absolutely.
From there, we got about the oh shit moment of the night. I think everybody was about to shit themselves and was pissed at this moment because we were all like holding our breaths going, this is not the screw job we're getting. So anyways, Tony Schiavone's on the ring with Bryce Rensburg. They call out Bullet Club. Jay White comes out. And we get this big, long, freaking announcement. Basically, Tony tells us MJF is injured and will not be able to compete tonight. The match has been canceled. And so, therefore, due to the contracts and the agreement, MJF is going to have to forfeit the world title. And we have a new world champion in what is going to be Jay White. And this is where we're going, and we're sitting here going, what? This is not how they're going to do this weird thing. Anyways, Adam Cole's music
Weird
comes
bait
up.
and switch.
We get a huge master of just, this was stupid. I don't know why they needed to do this. I don't know why Adam Cole was there. There was no payoff to any of this. Anyways, Adam Cole music hits. Adam Cole comes out and says he made MJF a promise, and they're not going to just give him the title. We already talked to Tony Khan. So now Adam Cole is going to wrestle in place of MJF to defend MJF's world title that MJF doesn't even have possession of, that Jay White has, that Jay White was almost given in the stupid storyline that didn't make sense, didn't need to be necessary, didn't need to happen. This was like, I was like, oh crap, they're really going to give the title to Jay White in some screw job finish here. I know there was talks, people were worried about the finger poke of doom situation coming out of all this. You had no clue, because Adam Cole came out on crutches and a boot. We know he's injured, and he's going to get in the ring and wrestle. MJF supposedly so severely injured, he's not coming back. This was just one of those things that you're like, when we were watching it, it was an oh shit moment, and then when they were like, okay, Adam Cole, and you're like, well, maybe something's going to give here, maybe we'll have something that plays out with the devil finally. Something, hopefully, we all sat back and hoped the payoff would be the payoff, or there'd be some payoff. So anyways, this is where we are now, gentlemen. What were your thoughts, Mr. Z, when you were listening to this at the time? Now, I know the show's over, so let's not jump ahead ourselves, but at the time.
I was about ready to just pretty much throw my hands up and be like, all right, well, that's that. If they were really going to pull that off.
Mr. Clarke, what were you thinking at the moment of this happening?
I was getting angry, because I'm like, what is this bait and switch BS?
Yeah.
It's like, because from a marketing point of view, it's like, you've been saying MJF, Jay White, MJF, Jay White. You were going to get this. And then, through storyline, we're going to bait and switch? Really? So you basically, possibly, I'm going to try to not use explicits. Screw your audience. Your paying audience. Out of that, you've been marketing for a while now.
Yeah. No, I couldn't understand how they were going to pull this monkey out of the bag. I thought we were going to get a screw job. I know, you mentioned, are we going to get a figure poke and doom thing? I thought maybe Adam Cole was going to turn on MJF here. This got really confusing really quick, and it kind of took the whole... We were interested in seeing MJF and Jay White have a legit match, and with all this happening, you're like, now we're not going to get that legit match that you've been selling for over a month now, almost 2 months, and so yeah, we had to sit back and go, okay, hopefully there's some payoff. I figured the devil was going to show up and we were going to get an answer to all this, but we will get into that later. Anyways, from there we had the International Championship match on the line. We had Orange Cassidy with Hook and Jon Moxley with the Wheeler Yuta. For whatever reason, the International Champion Orange Cassidy came out first and then Jon Moxley came out second. I thought that was pretty dumb. This is your typical Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley match. When you think of these two in the ring, it's what you get. Eventually, Cassidy was able to... Mox hit the turnbuckle, and then OC hit Orange Cassidy hit the punch not once, twice, but 3 times with the lady. Mox was back up. OC for a roll up, another punch, and another 6, and then we finally get the bitch breaker. But it was also because Mox hit the exposed turnbuckle, which he exposed. But anyways, Orange Cassidy at 12 minutes 4 seconds via pinfall. He wins. Trent Beretta and Claudio Castagnoli come out for the post-match activity, and Hook and Will Ryu to kind of get into it to build their eventual match. And Orange Cassidy retains his title. I knew this was the plan going ahead, but I don't know if this is necessarily the best way to do it. Their first match was way better, but they just don't. Moxley's just beating the snot out of Cassidy, and you're just getting the what is probably becoming a little tiresome with Orange Cassidy is just the underdog coming back again and overcoming by some means to win. It was okay. I can't say this was a great match. Their other match was probably a little better. Mr. Z, your thoughts on Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley?
I'm glad it was done.
Damn.
You hope it's done.
I'm
there.
I wasn't. I kind of tuned out on this match. I don't know about the whole taking 20 different orange punches to beat a man.
Yeah. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
I thought the point of this match was to put Orange Cassidy over. So
Yeah.
the fact that I was very disappointed with the exposed turnbuckle.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if you're going to put the man over, put the man over. Jericho knows how to do it. He's lost to Cassidy in the past. He put Will Hobbs over.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they book Moxley to do the same? They
I-
don't do it or don't book the match.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why it went the way it did. Unfortunately. Anyways, after all that, we got the official announcement. It was going to be Adam Cole versus Jay White. And then we got the next man entering the Continental Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Briscoe. So you have Bryan Danielson. You have Eddie Kingston. Somebody else entered it the other night. I forgot who it was now.
Andrade.
Andrade Alilo's in it now. And now Mark Briscoe. And it's starting Wednesday, and we still don't know all the people that are going to be in this 12-man Continental Classic. Mark Briscoe's in it.
Well,
Wow.
it will be a good match, but he ain't
Wow.
winning.
This person said, meanwhile, Mark Briscoe has entered the Continental Classic and has to be considered a favorite because he enjoys a good continental breakfast. People. Anyways. From there, we got the AEW Women's World Championship match. Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm. Toni Storm kind of making her debut. I don't get her outfits anymore, but hey, whatever. This was a match. I think their first match was a lot better than this one. Eventually, Toni Storm tried to hit our Shida with a heel of her shoe, and the shoe became a big thing. And then eventually, with a distraction, Toni Storm got the silver plate that Luther carries around, and Luther got his ass handed to him by Shida too. She took plenty of shots with the kendo stick on him. So yeah,
He got dog walked. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Anyway, so Toni Storm gets the silver plate that the butler Luther carries, and she shoves it down the back of her pants. It's hanging half out of her trunks in the area where you can see it plain as day. She eventually hits a hip attack in the corner with the plate into Shida's face. And we get a 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm at 10 minutes 26 seconds wins this match. And yay. History has been made in Inglewood, ladies and gentlemen. Toni Storm joins Hikaru Shida as a 3-time women's champion in AEW. And after the match, Mariah, not Carrie, but May, comes out to the ring with some flowers. She hands them to him. We have a quiet black and white celebration. This card was just, yeah. This match was another letdown. You thought this would be something special. It wasn't. Toni Storm wins by using a silver plate. She wins back the title. I know a lot of people like the gimmick, like the character, but I'm just kind of like, this is what we're getting. I don't know. This was not a great match between these two. So, that's my take. Mr. Clarke.
See, I'm one of those who likes the character But I also understand that match, they're both capable of more and better.
Yeah.
And so why it was booked this way, I have no understanding. This is supposed to be the work rate promotion, practically. It's like WWE's got their talent that can do work rate. Don't get me wrong, but this is supposed to be the wrestling promotion, as opposed to the sports entertainment. And why they're booking Toni Storm this way? It's like, unless they decide eventually to try to turn her into a variation of Eddie Guerrero, where she's beloved for her bratty attitude and cheating ways and whatever. I don't understand what they're doing here.
I don't mind
if you're going to fight tonight.
I don't mind the essence of the character, but the way it's being portrayed, I can't get behind it. I love Toni Storm, but I know Toni Storm's better than what she's given us. The character has moments, but I'm like, in the ring, once we see her in the ring, it's just kind of like, it loses all its luster. The gimmicks and the other things are great, but once she's in the ring, it seems to kind of be lackluster. Mr. Z, your thoughts on the AEW Women's title match?
No, I don't see a plate hanging out of your trunks.
Thank you.
Day where everyone doesn't see it.
Everyone but the ref.
Everyone but the ref. Like they deserve better.
What you're telling me is the ref should have done what Claudio Castagnoli did earlier.
Right.
Yes, exactly. No, we've seen him in better matches, and like you said, the timeless gimmick. I like it for what it is, but look who the person who's booking it. It doesn't help.
Yeah. So from there, we're backstage with Renee. She's with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is entering the Continental Classic and wants to defend both of his championships in all of his matches, and then says it'll make him make a triple crown, as the Continental Championship is also a thing. What? I thought it was just a trophy. I didn't think we were actually giving out a title.
Not another belt.
They turned it into a title. Not as of tonight.
Oh.
They're saying that's what the prize is. And so I don't
Thank
know
you, ladies. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. AEW has just done it. I thank you. Have a good night. I'm out of here.
I don't know if whoever
right.
wins is
I'm
going
back.
to hold
I'm back.
all 3 titles at once.
I'm back.
Or if it's going to be unified into one title. That's one thing we don't know yet.
For what title?
ROH, New Japan Open Strong, and this Continental title.
Well, you can't.
I don't know whoever wins.
All right, I got to mute myself again because you don't have a censor button big enough for this.
Well, he's going to defend the champion so he can be a Triple Crown champion. Now the Ring of Honor champion, they might blend into this, but I don't think they can do that with the New Japan title because that belongs to New Japan.
They can if they get permission.
I don't. Ay.
Right now, they have the permission for him to defend it on air. That's what they have. He's been defending it on AEW television. He's been defending it at AEW events. So
I thought this was just a tournament to give Bryan Danielson his tournament win because he wasn't probably going to be in the G1 Climax. So Tony Khan's like, I'll make a tournament for you, and we all expect Bryan Danielson to win it and have his big moment and carry a trophy and feel important. Not like they don't have the Owen Hart tournament for the men and women. That obviously means nothing now. But hey, this is going to be a annual tournament too now.
Miguel, could this possibly be turned into a variation of the King of Pro Wrestling thing, like that New Japan has?
King of the Indies? Or the King? Oh, yes.
What about Matt Cardona?
Honestly,
but, I mean, didn't it start as a trophy?
The King of Pro Wrestling, the KLPW.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. It started out as a trophy, and now it's a belt. Right now, I don't even know who the KLPW champ is right now. They just changed. They just swapped it at a house show, so I don't know which one it is.
All right. Well, anyways, on that note,
ultimately defended.
We're gonna get back into Full Gear, even though we probably don't want to get Full Gear. Anyways, the AEW World Tag Team Championship match in a ladder match: Ricky Starks, Big Bill, Rush, and Dragalistico, and Jose and Preston Vance were with them. FTR, the Axe Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, and Cash. Don't mess with me because I got a gun wheeler. Malachi Black and Brody King. This was a match. This is what you expect in a match with all these idiots. Everybody went through a ladder. I think Dax Hardwood stood in the ring with a ladder around his neck and danced around until he got drop kicked by Gerard Listico. Brody King tried to kill Gerard Listico by taking him through the ladder, and I don't know, it was just a car wreck waiting to happen. In the end, Starks gets up on the ladder, grabs his belt, drops it down to Big Bill, and then he gets his belt, and they retain it. 20 minutes, 8 seconds. There you go. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
I was surprised that they kept the titles on Big Bill and
Yeah.
Ricky Starks, but I actually enjoyed the match. Like, if you like ladder matches, if you like the car wreck, the car crash type of matches,
I missed it, so
decent.
this one's you guys.
Yeah. So, it was a decent match. It was what you expect in a ladder match with all these guys that had the high spot, monkey spots. It did what it did. I don't know. This was just kind of a match. I couldn't get invested with it because it was a match that was thrown together, and then it was a match that was built to be a ladder match at the last minute. So it was just like, let's have a tag team match for the titles with a bunch of people because we don't really know what we want to do with the tag team titles. Tag team wrestling at AEW is kind of faded to the wayside. And then it was like, oh, let's make it more special by making a ladder match at the last second. If AEW would have made it more feel like there was a reason for us to have a ladder match than the heels here of Ricky Starks and Big Bill feeling like we were not giving, it's not fair against us. Let us pick out the stipulation. I mean, that was the story they went with. If this had been these 4 teams feuding with each other a little more than we got in this quick build, and it had escalated with them having many matches of tag matches crossing one another and interfering or making it where they couldn't win, and it meant that we had to have some reason to have a ladder match, it probably would have been more. Just to throw it together and say, oh, we're going to have these 4 teams, and then on the last Dynamite, I believe it was, they announced this, now you're going to make it a ladder match. It was Dynamite or Collision. It was like the last go home, oh, we're going to make it a ladder match. And it's like, okay, well, give me a reason you're going to have a ladder match and just to do it. So that was my only thing.
I follow your logic and I completely understand.
Yeah.
That's why it's like I take the approach of I was just going to try to enjoy it for what it was because I believe it was Collision that they said it was going to be a ladder match.
Yeah.
So I very last minute, so it's like you can piss and moan about it or you can try to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
So it's tempting to take the
I understand. I'm just saying, I if it's going to be a ladder match, give me a little more reason than just, it's not fair for us, so we made it a ladder match. Anyways, the one match I think we were all kind of excited about, AEW TBS Championship match. The title's on the line. The AEW TBS Championship gets a higher billing than the AEW Women's Championship, but luckily the AEW women on the world title dropped the ball there, so it made sense because tonight we got champion Kris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Skye Blue, and we got exactly what we thought this match was going to be, other than Skye Blue aligning herself with Julia Hart. But this was a good, solid match, back and forth. Kris Statlander looked strong throughout the match. She was getting double teamed, but then Skye Blue and Julia Hart went after one another at different times. Kris Statlander eventually hit Saturday Night Fever on Skye. She gets a 2 before Julia knocks her off the cover, and Julia covers Skye Blue instead. And Julia Hart gets the 1, 2, 3 at 11 minutes, 21 seconds. This was a good match for all 3 of these women at the level they're at for the TBS title. The right woman won in this match. It was good to see. And every part of it played into a good story. It made sense. Statlander looking like the dominant woman. And you figured that the best way for this to possibly happen would be it would either be Skye Blue aligning herself with Julia Hart and taking out Statlander together, which was kind of the initial thing we got, but eventually that fell apart. But you knew that if somebody was going to win in this match, it was going to be, some type of chicanery in this. Julia Hart knocking Statlander off of Skye Blue in the middle of the pin after Saturday Night Fever, and then quickly covering Skye Blue for that 1, 2, 3. The right person's now the TBS champion. We have our third TBS champion, which is nice. Hopefully this will let Statlander move on to other things, and we'll get to see what Julia Hart gets to do with the TBS Championship. Mr. Z, your thoughts on this match?
You said it right there. The right person won. It's just there's no complaint on this one. It was your standard big girl little girl match. Statlander looked strong, looked very fair through the whole match. They did what they had to do to end up taking her out. Julia Hart pulls off the win. I've got no complaints here. It seems like they're taking the TBS title a lot more seriously than the actual AEW Women's Belt.
Well, they're taking the TBS title more serious than most of the other belts in the company.
Ain't that the damn truth?
Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match?
Despite what some headlines will say, right place, right time is not stealing the title. Julia Hart did the smart play. I don't know why. And just because she's a heel does not make her stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I got to say. It's like, we've all said it. Right person won. I'm loving it. I'm interested in seeing what they do with Skye Blue from this point. Because I'm still wondering if she's still going to be drawn to Julia Hart or not. Or is this time to go a different direction?
Yeah. Anyways, from there we got Toni Schiavone in the ring. It's time for the big announcement, and I don't think this big announcement was as big as it was meant to pay off. The newest signing to AEW is Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is now officially All Elite. There was a little bit of a crowd chant, but not as big as you would expect for Will Ospreay. I think he's respected, and he's probably better known in LA because New Japan does do more shows in the Southern California region, so you're going to know Ospreay a little more than maybe some of the other fans. So I think there was some of that. But then after he's like, oh, I'm signed, but hey, you got to give me time. He got in the mic and says, I can't do this yet. I've got to finish my time with New Japan, but I am All Elite. So he's signed, but he's still got to finish out all his time with New Japan. We will not see him until Revolution officially. And, of course, he's talking about Wembley, and now we all expect that he will be facing whoever the world champion is going into Wembley and at All In, and that's probably why Tony Khan's been building this thing up all winter now since he made his first big announcement. Obviously, now it makes sense. It's all to build up for Will Ospreay. And, of course, the question still ringing is if you look at the promotional footage or the promotional poster for All In next year, do you know MJF's on that poster?
I hadn't looked at the
even
poster, to
notice.
be honest.
Yeah, he's not on there. Copeland's on there. Darby Allin's on there. A lot of other names, but he's not in there. Anyways, so we got Will Ospreay. Mr. C, your thoughts on Will Ospreay now being All Elite?
I'm fine with it. I'm completely content. But he does have a belt right now still. That
Well,
could be the reason why he's not ready yet. He still has a match at Wrestle Kingdom. He is still your United States champion.
United States and UK champion, because there's two belts.
What's left of him?
Well,
I get it.
they were both smashed to pieces. So yes, what they will do with them in the future if they become back to the Intercontinental title, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion. But there was two belts.
I'm hoping. But yeah, no, I'm fine with this signing. I really hope he doesn't get treated like everybody else. Just a flash in the pan, and then we don't see him again.
Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on Will Ospreay in AEW?
Tony Khan, right now, right here, has a chance to reset and refocus and stop doing some silly ass stuff that he's been doing as far as his booking. You got Will Ospreay. Don't mess it up. None of us
Silver
have.
platter.
I don't think any of us really have the confidence, but in Tony Khan at this point. But he's got the opportunity. Let's see if he makes the most of it with this new prize jewel, if you will.
Alrighty. I look at it this way. Will Ospreay in AEW is fine. We've seen him there. We know he can get up in good talent. But again, anybody who's came over from New Japan and came into AEW, they've had their flash in the pan, and then they fizzled out. Look where Omega is. Now we have Ibushi officially All Elite, but he doesn't, or not Ibushi. Ibushi, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's All Elite now, but he doesn't really feel important. The Young Bucks, who were supposed to be, they don't feel as important. All these people that were New Japan that had all this hype behind them, and then they come over here and we're just kind of like, yeah. I feel Will Ospreay will be great in the beginning. I feel he'll be shot to the moon. He will be a world champion at Wembley at All In. I think that's what we're going to see. That is going to be the story. After he wins the championship, how long he holds it, I don't know. But I don't know if Tony Khan will know what to do with him after he has him lose the title. And that's my biggest fear. All right. Well, the savage match of the night. Yeah, the Texas Death Match. Hangman Adam Page versus Strickland with Prince Nana. I know they both loved the dance with the Laker girls coming down from Prince Nana.
Oh, that was great.
That was probably
great.
That was probably the highlight of the night, but the dancing did not set you up for what was coming. This was a bloodbath of brutality. We had staple guns and barbed wire chairs and glass.
Glass.
We don't know if it was real glass or sugar glass, so we didn't really care.
That looked like real glass.
We had a lot of weird, just over the top. We had drinking blood, fake or real, doesn't matter. It was just not the best thing. Eventually, we get Hangman Adam Page getting a chain wrapped around his neck and hung from over the corner by Strickland until he basically passes out. Strickland shows, let's see, Brian Cage came down, he got taken out, and Prince Nana got... what's
through the table
with what's the name of the move though?
Shit.
I forget what Hangman calls that. Not we got the buckshot lariat, but the dead eye.
The 310 to Yuma?
No,
that's the guns.
Oh, not that one.
Dead eye. That's the dead eye where he takes them and does like that reverse.
Dead eye.
thing.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Right.
Nana took a dead eye through a table, so that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. You can have a Texas Death Match, and that's fine. But the way they went about this one, I don't know. I guess there are a lot of fans there were excited about it. They wanted to
see fire on the table. They were
no, I know they were calling for fire on the table. I mean, they were looking for blood. I'm not a death match guy.
Oh, they got plenty of that.
I'm not a death match guy, so this didn't really do anything for me. It lost my interest pretty quickly. Once it got to where it was just like they were both bleeding gushers of blood, they were fountains of blood. I don't know if it was real or fake. I don't know how Hangman comes back from this now. 2 losses to Swerve back to back. Swerve looking like a badass. We get to see where he goes. This was a 30-minute match too. It went on way too long. That's for sure.
Really
that was
that
30.
long?
Yeah, 29 minutes 45 seconds. 30 minutes basically.
Holy sh! I didn't even think
It was a
that
long. It was a long match. That was the other thing that lost me. It just kept going,
my goodness.
and they both kept getting up. They both just took brutal shit, and they just kept getting up. And you're just like, yeah, a real person would be dead by now. Anyways, I felt like maybe I thought one of these. I thought one of these guys was going to have to die before it was going to be over. It was not my match. I was not a fan of it. LA loved it. They were eating it up. They wanted these guys to be on fire and going through a table. The bloodlust was real there tonight. But to me,
apparently my son popped for damn near everything. I'm in the other room taking care of some business. He gets put to the board. I hear my son in the back going, "Oh my god!" sounding like a damn commentator.
You better sleep with one eye open, because I don't know what type of boy you got over there now. You better not be going, "Hey son, you want to wrestle?" "Okay, Dad." He'll be pulling out glass and barbed wire.
He already does an elbow drop off of the nightstand. So I mean, he's getting there.
So, anyways, not my match. Mr. Z, your thoughts on this match?
Other than the reaction of my son, who enjoyed it thoroughly, I was a big fan of the entrance.
What you doing over there?
I didn't think that we were going to get the hanging of the Hangman.
Ain't that the truth? Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
The Hangman got hung, and that visual of Hangman drinking the blood. That was like,
oh god! Why did you bring the?
I wasn't even going to mention that. I was going to stay all away from that, and you had to jump right into that. There was a point why I didn't even say that in the opening. I just noticed that. Yeah. No, there is no answer.
If they're gonna do some kind of morbid or gothic storytelling, that's one thing. But I mean, like you said before, what do you do with Hangman from this point?
I guess he's dead. He gets to come back to life.
I won't say it. I'll just leave it alone.
I guess
what you do with Hangman after this? Well,
I guess he hangs a different way because now he's probably going to come back from death and be a vampire. He's going to be a vampire cowboy.
There we go.
Are we going to get what is it? Ghost Rider? Was that the
Oh, don't say that.
Is Hangman
He's
going to
gonna
do a
come
better
out
job
looking
than
like,
Nicolas Cage?
Is he going to come looking like Dustin Rhodes'
shit.
old gimmick from WCW?
7? Are you talking about 7?
Yes.
Hangman Page is going to play is going to do his best cosplay as the Undertaker now.
Oh hell!
It's going to be a mix between Undertaker and Gangrel. Is that what we're going to get? I mean, he's got Edge and Christian there. I guess they can show him how to drink blood properly. I don't know.
Well, they got the Hardys there too because they were
Yes.
part of all that.
Yeah, it's a new dude. Or maybe just comes out with Billy Corgan as his new manager with the theme song "The World Is a Vampire."
The world is a vampire. Dun, 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 dun. But Billy Corgan's got bigger fish to fry since his issues in NWA seem to be growing at a
That's
rapid
true.
pace. Billy Corgan may not be the owner of NWA much longer. Anyways, from there, we got a good tag team match, a good match, a solid match. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, the Golden Jets versus Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. We got what you expected from these guys, a good solid match. There wasn't a whole lot of flippy-floppy, flu-flopping, flying all over the place from the Young Bucks. It was a good solid match. Everybody looked strong. Pulling off moves. You could see the story was that Matt and Nick respected Kenny but didn't respect Jericho. Omega at one point stopped Jericho from beating the Young Bucks down, and then eventually it all fell apart when we got into low blows, and then the Bucks even low blowed Omega, which set Omega off, and Omega eventually came back. We saw Matt, I think, try to get a one-winning angel on Kenny. Eventually, Jericho comes back. He eats a super kick, then eats another one, and then Kenny hits a V-trigger on Matt, and the one-winged angel to end it all. This was a 20-minute match. It was a good, solid match. Jericho and Kenny Omega win, so we get the Golden Jets as the number one contenders for the tag team titles now. The Young Bucks afterwards tear apart all types of stuff, throw a fit, kind of like 1996 Chris Jericho style temper tantrum here. So this is what we get. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks?
The in-ring storytelling of this match, great. Kenny
Yes.
even teased the fact that he might hit a knee to Jericho, but hit it on Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he did the whole bang thing like he was going to hit Jericho. Like, nah, I'm just psyching you out. Oh, man, this was, I thought, a great match.
Yes.
The,
was
just
a
the
good match.
character work, just the in-ring storytelling was just so great.
Mm-hmm.
This is what AEW should be about, that in-ring storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
That is their strength when they decide to pull it off.
Exactly. And I'm not a Young Bucks fan. You guys know I chew out on Young Bucks, but I am giving the Young Bucks their props in this match. They didn't do a lot of the flippy-floppy stuff. They did the good storytelling that all these guys can tell, and it was a beautiful match. Mr. Z, your thoughts?
They hit their...
Oh, go
Hold on
ahead.
real quick. They did hit their milestones.
Yeah.
Like, the things that you expect them to do. But you're right. It wasn't senseless flippy.
Yeah. Oh, it made sense tonight and felt right and flowed right. It wasn't just flippy-floppy, and didn't feel rushed like everybody was trying to get every move in that they have in their repertoire. Mr. Z, your thoughts?
Bravo, guys! Just bravo. It was a perfect match. No complaints here at all. Perfect storytelling, as you said. The turn of, is he gonna catch a V trigger, and instead hits it anyways on the other? That was beautiful. I got nothing else. That was great. And then enjoyed the temper tantrum at the end of it.
I have to see where that all leads. Anyways, from there we got to the main event. And we had Jay White, who came out with the guns. And, of course, they made big reference to he was wearing what he wore at his debut in AEW at Forbidden Door, which I guess was also the same red outfit he was wearing at Wrestle Kingdom. So,
Yep.
we got White out, and here's Adam Cole. Adam Cole is defending on behalf of MJF. Adam Cole comes out in crutches, his leg in a boot. He gets in the ring, and everybody's going, well, how is this going to fucking play out? And we're sitting here trying to figure it out. And as Adam Cole's getting ready to go in this match, we hear the sirens in the background, and then we have flashbacks to when Stone Cold came back from the hospital in an ambulance. But no, here's MJF coming in an ambulance, hobbling along. His leg is hurt. And so now we have the match that we were supposed to get sort of kind of anyways. We have MJF defending his championship against Jay White. The Guns in Jay White's corner. Adam Cole in MJF's corner. These two had a good match. They were telling the story that MJF's leg was injured. It wasn't able to do certain things, but then he was doing other things like it wasn't hurt. It was not the best, but it was a good solid match. Gunn tried to interfere. Cole kept trying to get MJF to do all types of crazy stuff, so he didn't know if Adam Cole was trying to screw MJF at points. Adam Cole had the Ring of Honor title and was going to use it to hit Jay White, but Jay White saw it and then stole it from him, and then they went back and forth with that fight off. Then we had the same issue with the Diamond Ring. And eventually White goes for a punch, but MJF hits... White gets the Diamond Ring. He's going to go hit MJF, and MJF hits him with a low blow. We're all about low blows and then biting on this show. Yes, we got another biting here. The Guns run down to get knocked out of the ring. MJF hits White with the ring. Bryce sees nothing, and we get a 3 count. MJF wins with the Dynamite Diamond Ring again. This match was very confusing with the way Adam Cole. You thought Adam Cole was going to do something to help Jay White win. It made no sense what happened earlier in the night with MJF getting injured, being taken out to set up a match between Adam Cole and Jay White just to have MJF come back, wrestle the match, win the match by nefarious means, and then afterwards MJF and Adam Cole celebrate together, and we go to black without a single devil sighting tonight. So a storyline they started with MJF and Jay White. They've had the Acclaimed attacked. Adam Cole was out here, and though he looked at times that maybe he was up to nefarious means, nothing happened. I can't even explain. After you have this match, which was, it would have probably been better if we would have just had straight up MJF and Jay White without necessarily trying to have MJF be injured, so it means that Jay White can't beat MJF legitimately, so it injured MJF is easier for Jay White. I don't know. I was out of the match when they did all this. Once the ambulance came down and MJF was back, and it didn't pay off in anything. It was stupid to me. It ruined it. The wrestling was decent in the fact that both these guys can bring it, but the story that was being told or how we got here and all the payoff afterwards just killed the match for me. Like, it was just like, why? Why did we need to fake injure MJF and then make a match with Adam Cole defending for MJF when that was never the purpose? Just because you're going to have MJF come back at the end of the at the end of the show at the last minute to come back in and get in the match and still win. I don't think MJF needs to. I mean, he won with the Diamond Ring. I don't know. This match was confusing as hell because you have an injured MJF cheat to win. Jay White couldn't beat an injured MJ. I don't know. It was bad in the way it all came out. The wrestling was not bad. The match and the story and everything that came from it and what came at the end, and then we didn't get anything to do anything with anything to wrap up why you did what you did in the beginning. Mr. Z, your thoughts on this match?
You brought up the gear. The gear was from Wrestle Kingdom 2020. And yeah, other than that, where was the devil? Where was the devil?
Maybe
that's all I want to know.
Either in the ring or at ringside or I don't know. In catering.
I thought Adam Cole was gonna throw. I thought Adam Cole was gonna throw the towel. I was like, well,
I was worried about that.
We could do it that way.
Doing what? Throwing the towel. Yeah. They teach that too. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts.
Now, in a vacuum, you know what the point of today's story was. We don't get a payoff to the overall arc, but injuring MJF and having him come out at the end is obviously the point is to give him sympathy. It's classic 101 babyface 101.
I know, but the way he wins,
he's not a babyface.
In the end, doesn't garner any sympathy.
He's somewhere in the middle. He's not exactly a tweener. He's not exactly a face. He's in this really muddled, ugly.
Tony Khan has screwed him up. And trying to garner him babyface sympathy by having him injured and make the comeback in the ambulance and come out. But then again, he uses the Diamond Ring to cheat to win, so he's back to that tweener. So what was the point in setting up a sympathy storyline to make you feel sorry when he was going to do
because I don't think, even though he cheated with the diamond ring, I don't think the audience cares. It's the kid in that overall emotion that, oh, he fought so hard. They kept, even though he was injured, he kept fighting back and kept fighting back.
I don't even think that worked. I just think the fans were happy that he was a scumbag in the way he won. I think the fans were more over about that than the storyline of him being this sympathetic babyface. It doesn't work for MJF. I don't think the fans buy him as a sympathetic babyface. He's the Stone Cold Steve Austin type of character. He's the villain we love to hate, and that's what it's become. So I'm like, I don't get the...
Okay, see, I don't know about that, because Stone Cold could become face or tweener,
Yeah.
but be more or less considered a face. Where MJF, I still don't trust him. I still don't trust that he's not that scumbag, actual scumbag, not just, oh, I'm calling myself your scumbag to get that babyface feel.
This
You
is
see his shirt. It says "I'm your scumbag." He was wearing a Lakewood shirt that said "I'm your scumbag."
Hey! No, that was purple and gold colors. That was the Value Wrestling colors. MJF was supporting the guys tonight. No, I know he was.
Thanks, MJF. You're the man, bro.
I know it was Laker country, but hey, let's give it the rub to us. But thank you, MJF, for wearing the colors of Value Wrestling. Mad respect. But anyways, the only payoff to me is for him to be the scumbag. I know it probably would suck for him to be the devil, but I'm almost at this point. He needs to be the devil. It's just where it fits. I mean, Adam Cole or him are the only two that can really be the devil and make sense. Anybody else, it's really going to be weird. But they didn't even use the devil tonight, so I don't know why we have a devil storyline. MJF needs to be a scumbag. Being the babyface, coming back from an injury, it's just like it doesn't work. I can't swallow that pill. He's a scumbag. And then you see that he cheats to win. Low blow, diamond ring, was willing to do anything it takes. So it's like you built up this sympathy story like he was fighting from underneath. He had an injured leg. He was going to do everything it took to win, but it's just like you sound as a scumbag.
I was waiting for Cole to hit him with a crutch after the match was done.
I was waiting for Adam. I was
waiting for something.
I was waiting for Adam Cole to give Jay Lethal or Jay White something. I was waiting for Adam Cole to hit MJF after the match. I thought he was going to turn on him. I thought they were going to have Adam Cole and Jay White have this match, and then somehow Jay White was going to lay down for Adam Cole, or Adam Cole was going to get a quick roll-up and win, and then be like, oh, I'm the champion, and then you would continue the storyline where MJF came back, but now Adam Cole's like, no, I won the title, and MJF, but you didn't beat me, and then start their friction on who's the champion, But no, we didn't get anything. We didn't get no. This is the thing. You do all this story, but when it's at the end of the night, when it's all closed out, what payoff did we get? That's my thing. There was like nothing. MJF won. MJF should have won regardless of how you got there. So I don't know why we went all the way out here with this stupid storyline, and then I don't know why we even brought in Adam Cole to be
a distraction.
Like a
Jacksonville Jaguars playbook.
And why bring Adam Cole in? What did he really do to add to any of the story other than him and MJF are buddies still? It didn't bring anything. It doesn't. They didn't leave you anything to go, okay, now I need to watch Dynamite to figure out what's going on here. Did they leave you any reason to go watch Dynamite this week?
They're depending, I assume, on the overall arc on what is this devil deal.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people... Go ahead.
Between Adam Cole and MJF, no, we all predicted that MJF would retain.
Yeah. But I don't think...
You didn't have to be a genius to see that one happening.
But you had the devil in the group attack Jay White originally. You've never had him attack MJF. And tonight was one of those nights, especially in the story, you had Adam Cole coming out to defend for an injured MJF. Why wouldn't you have the devil come out then? Why wouldn't you have the devil come out and attack Jay White and Adam Cole while MJF is gone, and then MJF pull up in the ambulance afterwards, come limping in going, what's going on? And then, at least the level grounds, you would have had to somewhat beat up Jay White against an injured MJF, and then you could have had the match. But then we got a little bit of the devil and still been in suspense about, okay, who is the devil? Is it MJF? And then he mysteriously shows up in an ambulance. Even after the match was over, why didn't somebody appear, the devil appear on the screen? We didn't get anything to continue that storyline. So it's almost like, well, what's the point? Because you're thinking that this all has to do with Jay White and MJF and their match. So unless this is just dealing with, well, of course, you don't know why they attacked the Acclaim. So are they after MJF? Is it MJF trying to cover up for himself? tonight was the night they needed to do something with that devil gimmick. Tonight was the night they needed to give some payoff. It's either expose somebody or have them, attack everybody at the end of the match. That the devil should have showed up tonight.
I agree. I don't understand why they didn't book it that way.
Having Adam Cole and MJF walk out like best friends was like this, just like it didn't make sense. From where you started, where you ended 0 Hour and started the show and created all these events and made this big announcement. You were almost going to give the title to Jay White. And then Adam Cole stepped in and goes, no, I'll do it. Then you make an official match. And then you have them both get in the ring. And then you have MJF come in the ambulance and then start the match anyways. It's like, what was all the other crap for? Why do we have to do all this circus shit when we could have just had MJF and Jay White fight in the match? Where we could have still gotten all the heel tactics and the back and forth and made Jay White look good and MJF look good. And MJF could have still low blowed and used the diamond ring in the end to win. You could have still had Adam Cole come out with MJF to help out with the... I mean, wouldn't you got a bigger pop if you would have saved Adam Cole when it was MJF and Jay White in the ring and the guns interfering, and then you have Adam Cole's music plays and he comes down then? Don't you think he would have got a bigger pop then to come help even out the scores and made it feel like a better storyline?
There's a lot of things, a lot of roads, a lot of possibilities.
I know.
Problem is,
we're giving us suggestions here. Hopefully someone's listening.
This was bad. Anyways, I guess somebody thought...
I wonder if the point was that we've talked about how predictable things have been, so maybe Mr. Bookerman wanted to draw out color outside the lines, just so you can say exactly how it was going to happen.
He always colors outside the line. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Can I bring something up? I just seen on the media scrum someone tried to say that the devil is Val Venus.
What?
Why?
V and F.
Who?
There are some people that just need to be hit in the back of the knee with a bat and get it over with.
Scott Morley or Moray or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
These are his fans that are praising him as we speak. They are, man.
Who's fans?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who the devil is. I will tell you right now. That was an accidental hit.
What do I do now?
That was an accidental hit. But I'm going to tell you who I know the devil is. It's somebody who's very delusional and thinks that AEW wants him. It's the one.
Word. Bloody well, word. Word up. The fact that dude even talks.
That will be under the devil mask because Tony Khan, Well,
is anyone going to watch the scrum by any means? I'm getting bits and pieces, but no.
I don't know. I feel one day Value Wrestling's going to have to crash the scrum and go in there and ask the hard-hitting questions to one Tony Khan instead of all the pussyfoot baby answers. And Tony Khan, you can very much invite us to your scrum. We'd be happy to come, and we'll play nice. We just want to ask the real questions and get real answers. We are here to hold you to the fire. I mean, and it's the same thing. If Triple H was doing stuff...
I got a notebook.
If
just
Triple
like you,
H,
Tony.
If Triple H was doing stuff that wasn't right, we'd be calling him out on it. And unfortunately, we came back after the Vince McMahon era. So, I mean, if you really don't believe us, go back and watch mine and Mr. Cart's original videos where Mr. Cart made me watch some hideous UPW crap and...
I made you. I held a gun to your head.
Yes, you did.
That's his story. He's sticking to it.
Yes, exactly. Always. We held their butts to the fire. But I mean,
yes.
That's what we're here to do. We're going to be honest. We're going to call it like it is. And yes, if I was sitting in front of Tony Khan and had an open interview with him, yeah, I'd ask the real questions. I'd ask the questions that we want to know. Whether we get answers or not, it's a whole different story, but that's how I see it. Anyways, looks like we had 27 people come in here tonight. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And we have somebody who thought this show was awesome. And then we have, looks like 2 people who thought it was good, and then 2 people who thought it was average. So somebody's drinking the Kool-Aid that Tony Khan put out, or either Tony Khan came into our live stream while we were streaming. It took a minute before he went on the scrum.
Oh, man.
I don't know. But this is the Value of Wrestling. This is your AEW Full Gear 2023 review.
I got to ask a question. Is this the accurate number? Are we at 131?
Yes, we are at 131. We're at 131.
All right.
As of right now, so, yeah. We're climbing slowly. If you're in here now, please make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching this later, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe and become part of the Value Wrestling family. You get to become a member. You get to become part of the family that is Value Wrestling, that is growing and rapidly growing, and we are marching our way to 1,000, and that is our goal. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications so whenever we go live or we do any other programs, then you'll get to know about it. And tomorrow we'll try. It'll be an interesting one. I got to start doing Christmas decorations in the morning, so hopefully the weather finally acts up. I would have done it last week, but I was sick, so that kind of deterred it. So I got to put up a bunch of Christmas stuff. Yes, Mr. Clarke, you're going to say something.
I am. Just remember, when you join the Value Wrestling family, we are automatically, you will always be better than the Don Callis family.
If you join the Value Wrestling family, you will be better than the Truth Commission.
Well, that's an automatic.
Well, that was led by the Jackal, right? The Jackal led the Truth Commission. Who played the Jackal?
Yep.
Don Callis.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Don Callis.
Anyways, yes, join the Value Wrestling family. And we're going to be here live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for your weekly roundup. We're going to round up everything in wrestling. So we'll see how that goes, because I know I'm going to be working outside in the morning trying to get stuff up. I may have to take a break, come in and do a show. So that'll be fun.
I think I saw some news bits that we'll be talking about tomorrow.
Yeah?
And I was looking through some of the news bits earlier.
We get to talk about your favorite person, Ronda Rousey, Ring of Honor. Looks like she's going to get a Ring of Honor Women's title match against Athena.
I don't give a damn
I'll save it for tomorrow.
We know Will Ospreay is signed with AEW now, so he's all elite. But what does that mean for the Rainmaker? Rainmaker and WWE in talks. Could they be making plays there? WWE looking to get some New Japan talent.
Hey, Paul, hey, go ahead and sign me. You know that's where he's going.
Well, Okada would probably be decent there. At least he'd get to be his entrance, and we get to see a Rainmaker entrance.
A proper entrance outside of New Japan.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Other than that, we get to start talking about Survivor Series. We get to talk about War Games. We get to talk about all that stuff. Is Randy Orton returning into ring action? Is he going to be somebody that's going to join the War Games? Is it going to be Kevin Owens? Is it going to be LA Knight now? A lot of rumors that it's going to be LA Knight. Why you throw LA Knight in there when he doesn't really have much to do with Judgment Day? I don't know. But hey, lots of rumors that LA Knight, because Cody Rhodes came and saved LA Knight on SmackDown last night. So now LA Knight's name's in there. Kevin Owens' name's in there. Randy Orton's name is in there. And of course, CM Punk's name is still being thrown out there. But that's, I don't know. We will have to see. We got Survivor Series coming up. Not a whole lot on that card. We got the 2 War Games matches. We got a women's title match with Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks. We got the Intercontinental Champion Gunther versus Miz. And we got Santos Escobar versus Carlito as it stands right now. We may get a couple more matches this week added onto that show. That show doesn't feel like it's going to be a shit show. But, yes, we got all that to talk about tomorrow. And
When tomorrow comes.
Yes, always. Gentlemen, before we get out of here, your final thoughts on Full Gear, starting with Mr. Z. Your final thoughts, sir.
Overall, it was average. They could have done better, though.
Yes. Mr. Clarke, your overall thoughts on Full Gear.
Yeah, the rest was pretty decent, pretty good. Some of the storytelling mechanics they could have left to the TV shows, but ultimately it is what it is.
Overall, it was a pay-per-view. It was average to me. I don't think there was anything big. I don't even think the Will Ospreay thing really made it big. I'm glad we got a Young Bucks match that I actually enjoyed with the Golden Jets. It was really good. I think a lot of the other crap that they put into these matches, the whole storyline with MJF, was a waste of time to get where we got to anyways. But to each your own. You're always welcome to drop your feelings, your opinions, and your comments in the comments down below. Just make sure you do it in a respectful manner. We don't have to agree. Mm-hmm. We can agree to disagree. Okay, well, I guess Mr. Z says we always have to agree it's his way or the highway. Thank you, Mr. Fred Durst.
No, I didn't. Nothing.
Actually, my final thought is this. All hail Julia Hart.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you!
All right, so we got one acknowledging Julia Hart and the other one over here saying it's his way or the highway. So that's how we'll see it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being here on the Value Wrestling. This is your Full Gear review for 2023. It is November 18th, and we will be back tomorrow with a show.
Weekly Roundup podcast.
Yes, there you go. The Weekly Value Wrestling
Roundup.
Weekly Roundup. So, like I always say, until the next episode, it's time for us all to say bye. We're going to get out of here. We're going to call it a night. We're going to flash out of here as soon as I find the magic button. We're going to do that right now.